Champions Mojo is part of the CG Sports Network.
Welcome to the award-winning Champions Mojo, hosted by two world record-holding athletes and health, life, and leadership coaches. Be inspired as you listen to Conversations with Champions. And now, your hosts, Kelly Pallas and Maria Parker.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the Champions Mojo podcast. And as usual, I'm hosting with Maria Parker. Hello, Maria.
Hi, Kelly. It's good to be here today. I'm so excited about today's show.
I know this is going to be really, really interesting. It's our first Guinness Book world record holder who first we're going to say hi to him because he's right there. And then we're going to introduce him with all that he's done. So, hey, Buda.
Hi, Buda.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're really excited to hear more about Budimir Šobat from Croatia, who is a freediver. He's also a Guinness Book of World Records holder for his second time, but he really is a world championship medalist in freediving, where he won bronze in Liyawno, Italy, for doing a free dive that's in the static division where he held his breath for over 8 minutes. He's also a former bodybuilder, but one of the things that just recently came to our attention, which we're going to talk with him more about today, is this new record of holding his breath for 24 minutes and 33 seconds. He did use pure oxygen, but we're going to learn all the difference in what these things mean for us listeners that are swimmers and athletes. It is just fascinating. Maria, can you tell us more about Buda and this, his amazing stuff that he's doing?
Sure. Over the years, Buda's trained his body to pump oxygen more slowly, and he's also prepared for the involuntary muscle spasms, which kick in around the 18-minute mark, which sounds really interesting and awful. He says he was inspired to give it a go by his 20-year-old daughter, Saša, who has cerebral palsy, autism, and epilepsy. So Buda used this big event where he held his breath for over 24 minutes to raise funds for this city of Susak in Croatia, which was hit by a very serious earthquake back in December. And he hopes to use the money that he's raised to help rebuild the Room of Miracles for the Association of Persons with Disabilities, which was completely destroyed, as I said, in the earthquake. So he's doing good while he's doing hard stuff, which is our favorite kind of champion. Welcome to the show, Buda. We're so delighted to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you again.
So first, we have to start off with, tell us exactly what freediving is, and like some of the categories. And, you know, we do have a lot of athletes and listeners. So maybe if somebody out here was thinking of getting into freediving, pretend like we're just totally
beginners.
Novice. I don't know anything about freediving. I'm very interested in maybe trying it myself, but tell us, what is freediving? What are the categories? How might one get started? And maybe how you got started.
Okay. First of all, freediving is quite a young sport. And we can say it all started with Luc Besson movie, Big Blue. Yeah. And
I know that movie.
We all fall in love with freediving in that moment, all over the world, actually. And it started, let's say 20, 25 years ago. Even freediving as a sport was started long time ago. In 90s, there is one freediver. It was a sailor, Greek guy who was a sailor. He did some kind of exercise on 83 or 84 meters. It all started with him. And I started 9 years ago when I quit bodybuilding without any reason. I just found myself that I'm not good at that. And I had to find something different. And it's supposed to be a freediving. Freediving is, first of all, is a mental sport. And that's why in career, in sport career of other athletes, when you are 30, you are old. In a freediving, you are starting to get better and better because it's you have to fight with lots of things, and the mature you are, you will get better. So I started with 45, and I was thinking that I'm going to be happy if I take a national record or things like that. And it turned out that I am a Guinness record holder with 24:37. It's a 37, not 33.
Oh, 37.
They double check.
Those last few seconds.
No, it's a new
Those last
information.
few seconds
even
are
for me.
important.
Yeah. And but my biggest sport success is a bronze medal in Italy in discipline static, which was 8 minutes and 16 seconds.
Tell us the difference between what you won in Italy versus what you did for 24 minutes and 37 seconds.
The only difference is, I will try to explain the easiest way to understand. So the oxygen we breathe at the moment, you in America and I'm here in Croatia, is 21%. We have 21% of oxygen. When you are breathing medical or 100% oxygen, it's a huge difference. And it's you can multiply it with 4 or 5. So if my static with normal air is 8 minutes, it's kind of normal that you can hold your breath during static with pure oxygen 20, 21, or 22 minutes. Over 22 minutes, it's really, it's a hard work, you can say. So that's why this record, 24 minutes and 37 seconds, it's quite interesting for medical stuff, because I am at the moment, my goal is to go to Canada, and they will try to find how come that my brain is working quite different than other freedivers. And in that case, we can find some cure for submarines, for a guy in space, or cosmonauts and things like that. I'm more than happy to be, actually, I'm a case study, if you know, that point. And I'm looking forward, but because of this pandemic in the world, it's all stopped at the moment. And I hope that after the summer is going to be allowed to come to Canada and do some research with the medical stuff.
So the thing we want to differentiate. So first of all, holding your breath for 24 minutes and 37 seconds with oxygen is truly phenomenal. And anyone that wants to see that, there are a lot of videos online of Buda doing that. And it's phenomenal just watching him. But let's get to what you're doing as just normal human oxygen that we're all breathing. Holding your breath for 8 minutes with that is truly, that in itself is amazing. So I did a little research what a normal breath holding, like if someone, like many people struggle to hold their breath for 1 minute out of the water. And if you really, really train yourself again out of the water, 4 minutes is, kind of the peak of athletics. So what do you, when you did this world championships and you did the 8 minute free dive static, what does that look like? What is the body of water that you're in? What are you wearing? What are you doing? And you say this is a mental game. Tell us about that.
Okay. Like I said, it's a mental sport, first of all. The second thing, when I started, I had 126 kilos. In America, it's you multiply with double if you are talking about ounces. Am I right?
2.2.
Something
right?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm 85 kilos, which is almost 30 kilos less. Yeah. Because if you are going to be a good free diver, frankly, you have to be hungry.
Like a bodybuilder.
The less muscles you have, the better free diver you will be.
Okay.
So you have to be
because of,
starving.
Yes. Actually, I'm hungry the last couple of years, but it's all come with the sports. It's like somebody has to eat. I have to be on a diet, some kind of diet. So in Lignano, there is a 4 discipline in a pool. First of all, it's free diving with monofin. Then second discipline is bifins. The third discipline, which is my second favorite, it's dynamic no fins. So it means there is no support, just you and the water. And the fourth discipline, it is a static discipline. On a static discipline, you are trying to be calm as much as you can. And you try to, there is a 3 phase of time during the static. First phase is when you start to do that, you're asking yourself what I'm doing actually in the water. And then after 2 or 3 minutes, it's starting to be nice. You are getting lazy. You are your water, the water is touching your face and you feel comfortable. And then it's time for contractions. Contraction is when your stomach is going like fighting, and then you start to. The easiest way is to end the static is to count how many contractions you have. So in Lignano, I counted to 121.
Wow.
It's usual between 110 and 115. After 115, it's a kind of black area, which is kind of dangerous because you have to show the sign, I'm okay, like this. And you have to say to the judges, I'm okay. And then you have to watch them in the face for 15 seconds, and then they will say it's a white card or the red card. So I was kind of lucky, and I got a white card, and it was the bronze medal.
So
my PB is 8 minutes, and officially it's 8 minutes and 59 seconds. And 2 weeks ago, I broke the 9 minutes, and it was 9 minutes and 15 seconds.
Wow.
That's why I'm looking forward for World Championship in Belgrade in 2 weeks' time. And I hope so I will get the final. And maybe if I am happy, because there is lots of good guys in this discipline, I will make a medal. We'll see.
So are the divisions, are there age groups, or is it everybody against everybody?
No. There is no master. In free diving at the moment, there is no master category because, like I said, it's a new sport. They are talking about it, and probably next year they will say, okay, there is a master category. But as long as I can fight with the younger guys, I have no reason to go to master.
So
I think it's.
Okay. I just want to clarify on the 4 categories, and then Maria. So there's monofin, which is
like mermaid. You know the fin, the one fin like a mermaid.
Big fin swimmers. We know what monofins are, and then 2 fins is bifins. Then there's so when you say free diving, and you're doing static, you are actually just holding on to the side of the pool with your face down. You are not actually going below the surface.
No. In this discipline, you are just on the surface and close to the judges, and you are just floating, and that's it.
How about the third category? What is that one between? And what are the monofins and what are you doing with the monofins?
You are just. It's the same thing like a monofin or bifin, but without this equipment. You have to go from the other side, pull from one side of the pool to the other, and go back and forward, and it's kind of the most valuable discipline in a free diving.
The most what?
Valuable. It's the most
elevated. The most popular.
The most popular. Yeah. You can say the most popular. Yeah. but it's the hardest discipline of all because you have no help from the equipment.
Right.
So the world record with monofin, it's 316 meters. It's a huge result.
Yeah.
It was the Polish guy Matt Malina, and he is a world record holder as well in dynamic no fins, which is 244 meters, which is
incredible.
hilarious. My best PB, it's 175 meters, which is still good. It's going to be enough for a B final, which I'm happy, more than happy.
No fins on the 175.
No fins, yeah.
And
Yeah,
how
175.
How do women compare to men in this event?
There is a couple of women which are better than we. There is a girl, my colleague from Croatia, Mirela Kardashevic, and we expect that in Belgrade she will take all 3 medals except static. She is not practicing static, but she is quite good. She is going over 200 in each discipline, which is amazing. She's an ex-swimmer, and she has that kind of advantage because her body in the water it's quite different than mine because I wasn't a swimmer at all. I was a swimmer but not practicing it. So she's more familiar with water than I am, and her body in the water it's look like really fabulous to look. Fabulous to look, yeah.
So she's an efficient swimmer. So I want people to understand. So with any of these, if you black out during the event,
yes,
of course,
there's lots of things.
What? Yeah. So you lose, right? I mean, one of the reasons that you have to say okay is that you have to tell the judges that you've gone as far as you can and still you're healthy. Correct?
Exactly. Perfectly explanation. It's a perfectly explanation. There is before blackouts, it's a samba, but it's still allowed. Samba, you know what is samba? Samba is when you are shaking a little bit, you are losing your conscious for a second, but it's still allowed because if you show the sign, it's still okay. But the blackout, of course, it's disqualifying. So
how do you know when you're getting, you're getting to 8 minutes and almost 9 minutes or over 9 minutes? How do you know when you're approaching blackout or samba? Is that what you called it?
Yeah, you said right. It's kind of experience. Until 2 years till now, I had every year more than 10 or 12 blackouts during competition because I was thinking I'm strong, I can do it. But the main point is the body can take as your brain can take. And you can be brave as like a Braveheart, Mel Gibson, but it doesn't count. You can't go further. And at the moment when I realized that I have to going out, at that point, I became a good free diver. Since then, I had no blackouts. And since then, I'm much better and better and better. Because I realized that when my brain say go out, you have to go out. Okay. Otherwise, it's too late even for a second.
Okay.
So it's a kind of experience.
So you said it's mental. It's a mental sport.
Yeah.
So tell us, obviously.
Yeah, it's a mental sport because it's really, really difficult to hold your breath, and in any moment you can stop.
Right.
It's the same thing like that you are sparring Mike Tyson, and you go to the ring, and you can go out whatever you want, okay? But you say, okay, one more round, next round, okay, I can keep it one more round. It's the same thing with freediving. You can go out whatever you want, but if you are strong enough, you will try to get your peak, and in that moment you have to say, okay, that's enough, I'm going out. That's why we say it's a mental sport.
So are you training your mind or are you training your body?
Both. I'm not using yoga because I found myself disturbing when I'm practicing yoga. I found myself that I feel much better when I'm looking at the sea, or when I'm looking at my daughter, how she sleeps, or playing with my dog. And that kind of meditation for me, it's much better than just sitting and look at the wall and do nothing. So this is my way. It doesn't have to be a rule for other free divers. But for me, it's the best way to do those kind of things. Don't think about free diving. I started to be good as well at the moment. Before, I was dreaming about how I'm going to turn on the wall, count every stroke and things like that. And then I realized when the competition started, I'm empty, because I was doing that all over the night. So I decided last 5 minutes, just like 5 minutes. But the coach said to me, you are pushing yourself during the night, during the morning, and before the start you are empty. So try not to think about the free diving or your start just 5 minutes before. And then I realized, oh, I'm much stronger. Now I'm much stronger. So this is my way. Other guys they are listening music, or they're just laying down. I'm not doing that. I'm just sitting and looking around, and I'm trying to be on the same preparation like on a training. I'm not doing nothing especially on a day when it's a competition day.
So the conditioning, the training for this, does one's lungs get stronger and stronger in addition to your mind training, or is it just, can someone who's a natural just come out and hold their breath for 9 minutes, or do you train your lungs, your body, your brain to go longer each time?
Yep, it's a good question. You are coming from a sport which is very similar to freediving. I did my homework. So how about you guys? And I'm so happy that you're having me. Really, I'm so proud. I was talking to my fellows in a national team that I'm your guest, and they say, okay, we will try to see how it's work. So, but it doesn't have to be that ex-swimmer it's a good free diver. That's why I'm saying it's a mental sport. There's lots of free divers. They try to swimmers. They try to be a free diver, but after 50 or they will reach the peak very soon, 100 meters on or 150, but they will stuck on it because they are not ready to cross the line. They are too scared, or the feeling is quite uncomfortable. The third part where you are fighting, I'm enjoying that part. They are not. I'm a free diver because of the third part, not because of the first one, the second one when you are feeling good. I'm waiting for the third part when I'm fighting. This is why I'm good, probably, because I'm enjoying that kind of small pain. You are not coming to, you will not get that pain when you are a free diver by recreational. If you are not sport athletes, if you are not competing, you will not get to that point. Only when you are a free diver on the top, you will get to that point. And that's why I am saying free diving is a harmless sport, and it's a beautiful sport as well. But you will have to get to the point when you are struggling, then you will feel how I feel about the third part, the third phase. So the swimmers, they have a much more, they have advantage in front of us, but it's not the rule that they are good in free diving. Actually, it's always somebody from other sports like boxing or because they are used to some kind of pain. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. But it's not harmless. It's just a sport like any other. Like running marathon, you can't say that you are enjoying last 10 kilometers. It's a painful. Am I right?
Yes.
So it's the same thing with the free diving.
So when you say you're fighting, you're talking about fighting the convulsions, where your diaphragm is convulsing to try to get you to breathe.
Exactly.
And so
it's a bit painful, really. It's kind of So, but the more you practicing, the pain is less, because your diaphragm is kind of softer, and there is no problem with that. It's just a number.
So do you know how it compares to the pain of the last 10K of a marathon, or you know, Maria's an endurance cyclist, I'm an endurance swimmer. Like, we say it's pretty painful, you know, I mean, we've survived it, but do you know how the pain compares? Is it more of a pain, or is it more of a just, wow, my body's flipping out and I don't want to do this?
The both, because I didn't run the marathon, but I was rowing the marathon, and I know on a concept too, and I know what is the pain. The pain was in my back and in my head and in my arms, and it was good result. It was under the 3 hours, which is good for a which is good for a for a person who were not rowing before that, but it was really painful, and I can compare. That's why I'm saying you can compare those two things. It's kind of pain when you want to give up, but okay, I'm so close to the point that okay, I will hold my breath for 15 seconds. In that case, it's with rowing, it's a more like 2K, last 2K. You can compare with 15 seconds. So something like that. Yeah.
So with a rowing or running or cycling or swimming, you can slow down. You know, you can keep on going, but you slow down. But with freediving, you when you stop, you stop. I mean, you know, when you're out of the water, it's over. So you know, it's a little different. And I'm interested in your mindset. Like, are you asking yourself, you know, when you're counting the convulsions and you're up to 112? You know, are you having to tell your mind, you know, because you could at any moment then pop out of the water and it would be over, you know? So how do you convince your mind to keep on going? What is your why when you're on the 100th convulsion?
I know it sounds silly, but I have no time. I'm 56 years old. So to be honest, and maybe I can do like this for 1 or 2 years, and that's it. So this is my main motto. Okay, I have 2 more years of doing this on a high level, so I can't give up. And that's the end of the story. Maybe if I'm 40, I will say, okay, maybe next year or a year after. But now, frankly, there is no time for me. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. That's why I'm telling myself, okay, it's nothing. It's just a pain. Go on, and that's it. I'm not thinking that I'm doing some huge thing. If you know, it's just a sport like any other. But the only difference is that I'm now 56, and the guys that I'm competing, they are 25 or 30, 35. I'm probably the oldest guy on a world championship, but I don't want to back up. No. You have to beat me. In that case, I will say, okay, you are better. So my goal is a medal on this world championship.
So you're a competitor. That. You want to win.
Actually, I'm trying to. No. I mean, on one side, yes, but on the other side, I'm just chasing my time. I will be more happier that I'm doing 9 minutes on a world championship and be sixth than 7:30 and take medal. Really, I'm more than that. I'm chasing a time and or meters or yards, call it whatever you want, because I can compete with you and I will be the first. I will win, right? And it won't make me happy. But if I am on a world championship and I can make 9, and the rest of the guys they make 9 plus, I will say, okay, I'm happy for you, but I'm happy for myself as well, because with 9 minutes I'm again on the top 10 in the world. So my goal is here.
How does this convey to other areas of your life, this ability to compete and to train your mind and your body?
It helps me. It helps me because I'm much better in real life. I needed this sport because the last 20 years of my life, the Saša came 21 years ago, and my life getting different before. So this is some kind of escape for me. And when I come back from a pool or from a sea, I'm a much better person. Every time I'm looking like that. I'm full of energy, and I can understand the problem that she have, and I can understand the problem the other people have. So I'm kind of enjoying in that kind of my life. It's really opposite. On the other side, you have to be really focused on yourself. On the other side, you have to stop loving yourself and give you all your love to your daughter. So I'm in the middle, somewhere in the middle, and I'm feeling good in this position.
When you do freediving, and you're obviously buoyed up by this, you're tell us the beautiful parts of the sport, like besides the pain and this, convulsions, what is the beautiful part of freediving?
Well, this is extreme, what I was saying about the pain, and the 99% of freediving, it's really enjoying, because I will explain on one thing. Let's say Saša was born 1 month earlier, and with the brain damaged. So we had to practice with her 5 hours a day, motorics, plyometrics, and things like that. So, but the one thing is common with freediving. We were holding her for more than 2.5 years. Why? Because otherwise she will do wrong movements. Okay, so we were correcting her all the time for 2.5 years. At the moment when she was ready, we put her on the floor and we said, okay, now you can slowly walk, because it's like empty computer. If you put wrong information, you will get a chaos. But if you put right information in a computer, it will work perfectly. So, but one thing, it's most important, that we were taking a vacation for twice in the summer. So in the water, she can do wrong movements as much as she like. That's why the water is perfect area for kids with the needs. It's the same thing with us, that we are really enjoying in water. That's I see Maria is smiling because the water is different media, and it's something beautiful by itself. And if you are in the water, it's more beautiful. Mm. So yes. The freediving, it's a beautiful sport, because if you are free of fear, you can see the things down there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what I heard about the mankind, it's that we are coming from out of the water. It started like that. So this is what I think it's the most important thing about the freediving, that you feel That's why it's called free diving. That's you feel free in the water.
That's beautiful.
Yes, that is beautiful. Well, we really appreciate your time with us. I think that we've gotten a great grasp of this beautiful sport. I'm interested to at least try it in a pool, right? I can hold on to the edge and hold
One
my
more
breath.
thing.
Yes.
Kelly, excuse me, one more thing.
Yes.
Mario as well, and the listeners as well. Don't do it by yourself.
Okay.
Please don't do it by yourself. It's always has to be body with you. If you want to train, the first part you train and the body will look at you, and then you are the body and the other guy is doing some kind of exercise. It's a very not dangerous, but it's matter of safety.
It's serious.
Yeah, it's serious. That's great advice. And that is our last question, which is there anything that we have not asked you that you would like to share with our listeners?
Actually, yes. I will try to make it short. In this moment when the world is full of madness, just try to be kind, polite. Don't be evil. You don't have to be a world record holder. You don't have to be a famous actor. Just be a human. That's my message.
I love it.
It's a great message.
Just
It's
be
a great
kind.
message. Yes. Be kind. Kindness is wonderful. Well, thank you so much. It has been absolutely fascinating.
Yes, you're
Thank you.
just I love your spirit and how you have described this. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's now time for the takeaways. Maria, you and I have heard the takeaways are the best part of the show.
That's right, Kelly, because the takeaways are curated information, which is what we give to our clients when we coach them.
If you would like to take your performance to the next level in health, life, or leadership, go to our website and schedule your free 30-minute consultation.
Yes, just click on our coaching page and book there. We're looking forward to bringing out the champion in you.
And now, the takeaways. Okay, Maria, the takeaways for Budimir Šobat, this free diver and Guinness World Record holder for holding his breath, 24 minutes and 37 seconds. That is incredible. It was using pure oxygen, but he's also held regular breath, just like you and me, for 9 minutes and 15 seconds. So it's just incredible I think it was one of our most fascinating shows. For me, I know I just couldn't get enough questions in of like, what is this? What is that? So
yeah, it's an interesting sport. And like you said, it's a new sport. And also he just had I loved his countenance. He was a beautiful man, obviously.
Really, really, I loved his passion. Mm-hmm. How humble too. Like that was a huge
you guys are so amazing.
Like, I can't believe you had me on your show. Like he's right up there with all of our other champions. But anyway, so what was your first takeaway?
Well, I loved his story about, we were talking about like how do you know when it's over? Because, I said, if you're swimming or whatever, you can slow down. If you're cycling, you can slow down. If you're running, you can start walking or whatever. But with this sport, when you're done, you're done. I mean, when you come out of the water, it's over.
Right.
And if you don't come out of the water and you black out, it's over. So there's a very, it's like, how do you know, it's a very mental sport. He said that so many times and he's absolutely right. So and he made the point that you can be too tough. And I think this is a really good point for those of us who would tend to be sort of bullheaded about, what we think we can do. In fact, I was just talking to Jim about this. I've been doing a lot of driving and I had a little fender bender on my last long drive. And I said, it's because of my hubris. I thought I was close to home and I should have stopped and taken a break, but I thought I'm just going to push through. I can do this. I've done this before. I can just push through. And it ended up costing me a lot of money. Fortunately, nobody was hurt, but and I think this is the point he was making and why he's good at it as he's gotten older. It's like he has learned to listen to the little inner voice that says, we're done. It's done. Stop.
Yeah.
It's no longer about toughness. Now it's moving over into stupidity. And I think I think I need to learn that in everything I do. It's like, you have to know when too much is too much. And, there's a time when, and for me, that I do too much, probably more often, but, other people, they have to push themselves. But for me, sometimes I have to say, wait, why are you doing this? Stop, slow down. You've hit, you've gone beyond safety or beyond reasonableness. So that was my takeaway from that, is like the listen to the, wisdom, be wise about what you're doing when you approach the limits of what you think you can do.
Maria, this is, I'm really, it's so weird. I'm getting goosebumps because I think there's a huge message in there for you. You particularly need to hear that. And when I give my takeaway, I'm going to say that I particularly need to hear this takeaway that I'm about to give. But before we move on to that, so yes, you and I joke about, you don't quit. You
Right.
will not quit.
Right.
And I always have the joke of, winners never quit, quitters never win. And I've always said, winners quit and quitters and winners quit. And so we're not talking about quitting, but I love that, listening to that inner voice. And I think Buddha got through to you in this. And I think that's a great story. And so my takeaway is that water is beautiful. It's magical. It's rejuvenative. It's a happy place for so many people, even if you're not like a highly competitive swimmer. I loved his quote, "You can't make a mistake." When he talked about his daughter, like when they wanted her to really get her motor skills down, and if they put her in the water, everything was fine. And so, I'm turning 60 this year. I'm in a new age group for swimming, and I'm trying to come back. I have not had a meet in 3 years. And it's always a little tough on my aging shoulders. So I do the shoulder exercises, but I'm going forward. I had a meet last weekend. My shoulders did fine. My shoulders are holding up through training. However, I know that if I can't start to go perform at a level that I want, I will not get back in the water. It's kind of, I think it's an ego thing. I think it's something that I know a lot of our listeners can relate to, that, hey, if I can't swim at this speed, then I'm not going to swim at all. Or if I can't swim as well as I used to, then I'm not going to swim at all. And so this message from Buddha is that water is rejuvenative. It's magic. It doesn't even matter. Like, if I go to swim practice and I just kick, or I just get in the pool and I just lightly swim with fins, there's something that we can all do in the water. And so I don't know. I feel like you got a really huge message there. I got this huge message that I hope our listeners are hearing, that, some days you don't feel like pushing it all the way, but you can still get that beautiful cleansing. There's just nothing like being in the water for swimmers and non-swimmers. So that was true. My takeaway.
Oh, I'm so glad you got that message, because yes, it's hard when you've thought of swimming as sort of part of your identity as a competitor, to be in the water not as a competitor. Same thing with me on the bike. With Jim and I did a super easy ride today, and you've got to recapture that. When you've been competing in an arena or in an area, whatever. But you started out doing it for just fun. I mean, you started as enjoying. So I'm so glad to hear that you want to keep the joy that you've experienced in moving around and through the water. That's wonderful.
Yeah. And no matter what the speed, like we're training. I've heard a lot of Olympians say they don't want to ever swim masters because they just can never compare to that. But I just ask people to think, hey, try it. So anyway, what a great interview. Hope people listen to the whole thing. Love you, Maria.
Love you too. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
You've been listening to the Champions Mojo podcast with host Kelly Palace and Maria Parker. Champions Mojo is produced by Cabra Media, and a new episode debuts every Tuesday. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. Follow Champions Mojo on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook @Champions Mojo.